Hello, Alex McCarowitz, 53 Eustis Ave. Well, thank you for having me again. And I'll be super quick this time, I promise. I just wanted to address the masking policy and kind of what has happened since the last time for my family personally since I addressed the board. I did stick to the promises that I made to not just the board, to everybody that was watching. And I did not send my kids to school with masks yesterday or today. My oldest is 6 years old. He's a first grader at the Walton, and he is autistic and had a meltdown as soon as we approached the door because every other kid was wearing a mask. One, he didn't want to look different. And two, in his mind, it translated to COVID's still in our schools. So there was that boundary of now he doesn't feel safe not having a mask anywhere near the school. Mind you, I back up to the Walton. Like, I throw him over the fence some days. That, to me, that's worrisome as a mom. So he is 6 years old. I let him make his own choice. He went in and he wore his mask that he had in his cubby. Later that day, he comes running out of the Boys and Girls Club, biggest smile on his face. Mommy, I could breathe. I didn't need to wear the mask. COVID's not at the Boys and Girls Club. And again, I think it's that the way his mind processes things. And it's very typical, I think, of how children think in general, whether they're on the spectrum or not. My other two, they walked in, no problem. They walked out with masks on, to which I just removed. And they said, our teachers made us put them on. And I said, you're not in trouble. Like, let's get in the car. Like, we're holding up the pickup line. We'll talk about it at home. I sent an email to the school, to the principal, to the nurse, to the teachers, to the paras, stating that my children will not be wearing masks, that they will be using their medical mask exemptions that they have not used since the beginning of COVID. My kids walked out with masks on today again and said to me, my teachers made me put it on. Now, when a parent is specifically saying and has documentation from their doctor, from a pulmonologist at Children's Hospital, who we've had this on record since last year, my request for my children is being ignored, that's not okay. And it makes them not know who to trust. Who's in charge, who's not. My mom says I don't need to and I have the right not to, but my teachers are saying I don't have that choice. My mommy can't make that decision for me. And that's why I am following in the other two recommendation that it ends tonight. Not wait till the 8th, not wait for Mr. Chu's 3-3, just end it tonight. Let us get back to normalcy, let it be parent choice. And I know you can't answer questions, but I just have one out there that I know a lot of other parents do in terms of the verbiage with the face covering policies when it talks about the vaccinated and unvaccinated students and kind of putting that out there. I know the board had talked a lot in your discussion before the vote last month, not drawing those lines, not trying to create but like two different groups to not segregate people by policies, procedures, language, and stuff. So I do encourage and hope that that will be really looked at in terms of what the exact wording is so we don't fall into a trap, maybe a month down the line if the CDC or DESE comes out with new guidelines that could get us into trouble then. And lastly, similar to Greg, apparently people heard my little witty comment when I said I couldn't afford the fancy signs to run for school committee. And I have also pulled papers just to give it my all and give it a change. Maybe a fresh eyes on the same situations that you have all been dealing with for years helping our children could bring new ideas and new perspective out there. And that's all I have. Thank you so much for letting me speak again.
Thanks, Alex. WCAT folks, do we have anybody else on Zoom for public comment?
Not that we can see.